think it was after about 5 sessions that I was walking across the parking lot and I actually felt a difference. It was so strange because I'd been so anxious and so kind of tied up, and I was walking across the parking lot and I thought, wow, something's different. I feel calm.
Well, great to have you here, Karen. So Karen is the high school principal of Oaks Christian School. And why don't you tell us a little bit about how long you've been at Oaks and what you've been doing there?
Absolutely. Well, I started Oaks right after retiring from the Navy. I was in the Navy for 20 years. And so I walked over the day after, basically, I retired. So haven't looked back, loved every minute of it.
Wasn't much of a retirement, was it?
No retirement whatsoever. But they hired me as Dean of Women, and I did that and then changed into Dean of Student Life, and then did that for 16 years. And then they selected me as principal. So this is my 4th year as principal, high school principal.
High school principal, that's a great role for you. Perfect. So why not, I know you've had personally with your kids, also you've had some experience with the Brain Performance Center, and then you've obviously seen a lot of kids from Oaks Christian come through it as well. So maybe you can start by just kind of talking a little bit about your personal experience with it.
Absolutely. So back, golly, it was probably, 10 years ago? I'm not really sure. The Brain Training Center had a program that brought the athletes from Oaks Christian over for base scans, basically, for concussions and stuff. So Chris came over, and it was funny because he came over with friends of his, and he found out the friends were able to go ahead and get their brain mapping and go ahead and move on with max performance. And Chris actually had to unscramble his brain waves before he was able to go into max performance. But he persevered, he did all of that, he loved it, and he realized it was helping him in his football. So he just continued to come.
Now, Chris is your son. What age was he? Was in
Yes,
his
he was
sophomore year, junior?
I believe he was in his junior year, when he first started, and stayed with it all the way through senior year. Did very well. Got a lot of offers from different colleges. He fell in love with Arizona State, so he went to Arizona State as a tight end and played well. And his 3rd year, his junior year, he was actually named Offensive Player of the Year. And we basically owe all of that to, well, maybe not all of it, he had good hands as well, but truly his mindset, his reaction time, focus, we definitely owe that all to brain training.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And then you've done it yourself too.
I have indeed. So during that same time, my dad was actually dying. I mean, he had cancer, and it was a very anxiety-producing time. And so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. I was watching everything that it did for Chris, and I thought, wow, this could really work. And so I think it was after about 5 sessions that I was walking across the parking lot and I actually felt a difference. It was so strange because I'd been so anxious and so kind of tied up, and I was walking across the parking lot and I thought, wow, something's different. I feel calm. And so I just stayed with it, and it helped me very much through that time.
Perfect. And then you had mentioned your sleep quality got a little better too, right?
Absolutely. So it was a bit after that time I started having trouble sleeping. And I talked to you and you said, I think we can take care of it. And sure enough, I came over for probably, again, maybe 5 sessions. I believe the first time actually was 10 sessions. I came back over for about 5 sessions and I started sleeping through the night.
Right. So yeah, we were able to target those brain waves that help you get into the deep sleep and not have that restless sleep and feel rejuvenated when you wake up. So that's great.
Exactly.
Perfect. And then as you know, as with your role in the school, obviously you've recommended a lot of people to us, and you know, can you talk a little bit about just in general about the the response that people usually get, the experience that as they come out of this? Have you seen differences in kids with ADHD, differences with the ability to focus behaviorally, those type of things as well.
Right. Well, I'm going to step back a little bit and just tell you a little bit about my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
So during high school, I kept wondering, something's different. She doesn't focus. Well, she'll focus on reading books, but she won't get her homework done. Her locker is messy. I just saw these things, and I couldn't figure it out. So I just kept letting it go. I struggled through with her. And then in college, finally, she hit a wall, and she actually almost flunked out of college. It was during this one semester where she became ill, and then she just stopped and didn't do anything else. So I brought her to the Brain Training Center over that summer, and she had several sessions. She went back to school. She was a different person, and she was able to finish college. She did a great job finishing college, cum laude, and she got her master's degree in December. So I was so impressed with what happened with Katie that I started talking to kids at school. Well, I talked to the parents actually and say, this worked for my daughter. I really think you should give this a try. And every single parent that I told about it, who actually came over here, they came back to me and thanked me for it because it just did so much for their students.
That's awesome.